The 2012 edition of a Chevrolet Traverse is being rolled out right now. It's a crossover SUV that has some of the best fuel standards around, and it has a third row of seats that's easy for anyone to manage. It has become one of the most notable 7-seat SUVs around, and has become so popular that it can be found today in a variety of trims. The 2012 Traverse has a few points that are similar to what it had in the past year, but it does have a few changes that make it impressive. However, it should be noted that this is going to be the last of the current Traverse models to get. A full redesign is expected for 2013. It's not clear as to what the 2013 version will have, but it's clear that the 2012 edition of the Traverse is going to be the last of its kind, so 2012 will be a good time for anyone to pick this vehicle up if they're really interested in it. Now, the engine for this 2012 7-seat car is the same that was used in the 2011 edition. It's a 3.6-liter V6 engine. It gets a 17 miles per gallon in the city and 24 miles per gallon in the highway that it was found in the previous model. This creates something that's a little easier to manage when compared to other vehicles. These include such vehicles as the Toyota Highlander, which is similar to Traverse, but only gets a 15 and 22 in a miles per gallon rating. This engine also works with an all-wheel drive function. The Traverse uses a 6-speed automatic transmission. It works with one of the smoothest acceleration procedures around, thus providing anyone with one of the most effective driving functions around. Suspension in the Traverse is also independent from other functions around the vehicle. It's used to make the ride a little more manageable. Now let's go on to the interior of a 2012 Chevy Traverse. The dimensions are about the same as what the 2011 model had. This includes 36.8 inches of legroom in the second row and 33.2 inches in the third row. There's also about 60 inches of shoulder room in every row, including the third row. The third row is especially useful because not only does it have cup holders, but it also has a second row that's very easy to manage. A smart slide seat is used in the second row of a Traverse. It can be slid forward with a single motion to create plenty of space, and to make it so people can get in and out of the third row as easily as possible. The fact that the second and third row seats can be laid down flat helps as well. The 2012 Traverse has about 120 cubic feet of cargo space. This is much greater than what some other 7-seat SUVs that this is compared to have, including a Ford Explorer, a vehicle that only has 80 cubic feet of cargo space. Now, this has a few other features that make a car just as beneficial. First, there are airbags on a variety of points around the Traverse. These include rear body and curtain airbags. Overall, there are 6 airbags around the vehicle. There's also a USB port located on the front console for convenience purposes and to get digital media players connected to a vehicle. There's also Bluetooth support in the Traverse. Even the Traverse dashboard is easy to read and manage. One interesting feature is that on the dashboard, the oil life monitor is used to monitor the oil and to determine when it will be best to get the oil changed. Now, there are 4 different models of a Traverse to choose from, and one interesting thing is some of them have 8 seats. The 4 models are from the least expensive to the most, the LS, 1LT, the 2LT, and the LTZ. They have their own special features, but as mentioned, the number of people that can be fit in is one of the key points. The LS and 1LT models both have seating for 8. This features a second row of seats working as a bench seat. A 7-seat option is available for the 1LT. This creates captain's chairs in the second row, and it's similar to what would be featured in the first row. The 2LT has a standard 7-seat arrangement, although the second row bench can be used as an optional feature. The LTZ is a 7-seat only vehicle and does not have the 8-seat option. Now, there are some other differences that come with this crossover SUV based on the trim you get. The first of these differences is the size of the wheels. The LS has 17-inch wheels, the LTZ has 20-inch wheels, and the other 2 models have 18-inch wheels. The LS has outside mirrors that can be adjusted with power motors. The 1LT has mirrors that have body-colored heat functions, and even special mirrors that show what's in one's blind spot. Turn signals are also built into these mirrors. The other 2 models have auto-dimming features on these mirrors that makes it easier for anyone to see out of them. The next thing is the stereo system. The LS and LT both have a CD player, and it has 6 speakers in it. The 2LT and LTZ go one step further with a 10-speaker system that's powered by Bose technology. The fabrics on these vehicles are also different based on trim. Most models have cloth seats, but the LTZ has perforated leather materials on the front and second rows. The LTZ also has a power heating feature on the front row. And finally, there's the price. The LS is obviously the cheapest model. It's available for $29,000 for a rear-wheel drive or $31,000 for an all-wheel drive. Now I should mention that the all-wheel drive option is available for all of these trims. However, it costs $2,000 extra for the all-wheel drive no matter what you get. And the LTZ is the most expensive of these trims. You can get it for about $40,000 in most standard forms. The other two models are in between in terms of how valuable they are.